Hi, everyone. Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depends on where you're listening from. I hope you're doing well. If you can hear me, could you kindly type on the chat box and let me be sure that you can hear me? My name is Rahma Zakaria, and I'm super excited to be here with you at this time. Today, we're talking about how to strip off professional shame. Saturday was really beautiful. We had an amazing time talking about how to strip off shame. And today we'll be looking at how to strip off professional shame. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be fantastic. Please call your friends, call your family members, call everyone you know to join the conversation. It's about to get hot in here. And this is going to be really beautiful and superb with the one and only emotions doctor. Dr. Oyukosola Alabi. Kindly call your friends to join in so that we can get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please type in the chat box. Let me be sure that you can hear me. And please type where you're connecting from. It's so good to see everyone this evening. It's evening time where I am. And I must say, thank you so much for joining us at this time. Today, we're talking about how to strip off professional shame. We started the year with goals. Oh, we want to do this. Some of us wrote down, we wrote down so many things we want to do. We have them written down already. Some are pasted on the wardrobe, on the fridge, on the television, everywhere in the house. But one way or the other, you find yourself not being able to move from where you had to where you ought to be because something is holding you back. And sometimes it is shame. The shame of not meeting up with the goals you set last year, the shame of repeating some certain positions in life, so many things like that. This is going to be real, raw, and vulnerable. This is going to be so amazing. I can promise you that. While the session is going on, if you would like to sponsor the session so we can come up and give you more tea, more juice, more value on this topic, you could kindly sponsor the show. We have the details on the screen, and then we can always come up here to give you this beautiful session, and we all learn together. This is going to be an amazing time. Please call your friends and families to join in while we get started. At this point, I'll be handing over to the emotions doctor to take it up from here. And I am here at the back end. Drop your messages. We will surely read them. We'll attend to questions. This is a real, raw, and vulnerable session. Please come in, be where you will not be distracted, and listen with full attention. Thank you so much, everyone. Now I'll be handing over to the emotions doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach Rama. So I see awesome people in the house. I see Itoha, she's from Dublin. I see Solis, she's from Ghana. I see Toluwani from Australia. I see awesome people from Nigeria. Good to see all of you here and good to have you here. One good question. Were you here on Saturday? Were you here on Saturday at the Strip of Your Shame conference with myself, Apostle Femi Lazarus, BC Sojo Yahweh, and everybody else? Were you here on Saturday? If you were, please talk to me in the comment section. Were you here on Saturday? Were you here on Saturday? Were you here on Saturday? Were you in the house on Saturday? If you were, how was it for you? Talk to me. Were you here on Saturday? If you were here on Saturday, how was it for you? If you were here on Saturday, Saturday was hot, Saturday was heavy. God was with us. Talk to me. Can you hear me loud and clear? Were you here on Saturday? I am trying to check the comment section. Families on YouTube, talk to me. I'm looking at it. Were you here on Saturday? Were you here on Saturday? Where is everybody? Were you here on Saturday, on Saturday, on Saturday? And how was it for you? Were you here on Saturday? If yes, how was it for you? So talk to me. Who is dropping it hot? Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Good, good, good. Somebody said, I saw the video afterwards and I was blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm checking YouTube for the questions, for the responses. This has to be very interactive. So let me see. Were you here on Saturday? If you were here on Saturday, it was amazing. I watched the replay. Excellent. Who else was here? I was not live, but it was an amazing session. I was listening again and all of those things. Good. It was amazing. Mindset changing. Immersive Harris. Yes, Saturday was awesome. Good, good. I watched after and it was amazing. I picked up so many nuggets. I am so glad. Everything you saw on Saturday came from every soul who chose to sacrifice their time, their energy, their resources. People gave us their time to speak. In fact, I had said to them that I was going to give them honorariums. Some of them rejected the honorariums and said, I'm going to sow that as a seed, while I gave some. And one person actually said, instead of you giving me money, I'm going to sow a seed into your life. You are doing something so amazing, and I want to be a part of it. And some other listeners listening to me also gave money, some gave naira, some were able to give dollars. I appreciate all of you for bringing this on. I also, because one thing I said to God was, I want to do this as often as possible. And I need you to raise partners and sponsors, and you sponsor it yourself. I don't want to do this and begin to think, oh, it's going to cost me $2,000 every time I do a conference. I need you to sponsor it. And God showed up and He sponsored what belongs to Him. So, for everybody who gave, I want to say thank you. For some of you who will still give, I want to say thank you. The interesting part is some people actually gave Naira even while they were listening to the replay. Like, I think they saw, just the same way scrolling here, I think they saw it and they said, oh, I want to be a part of it. And they were giving. It looked small or whatever you call it, but no amount of money is too small based on what we're going to do. The plan for Strip Off the Shame is very soon. We're going to go to nations. So there will be the Strip Off the Shame Nigeria, Strip Off the Shame Canada, Strip Off the Shame United Kingdom, Strip Off the Shame United States, because I have an agenda against shame. I know how shame can rip you off your dignity. Shame will reduce you and make you feel like you are not good enough. That you are not good enough syndrome, I have something against that statement, and I'm going to tear that statement apart as often as I can. So today's conversation is tied to professional shame, where some of us from secondary school transitioning into university, and after university, somewhere along the line, you didn't do too well. Maybe you graduated with a third class, or maybe with a pass, or maybe with a 2-2, or whatever that is. And you have been feeling less than yourself because you keep hearing, oh, you won't get a scholarship, you won't get a part scholarship, this school will not take you, or you've been receiving rejections. I once met somebody who said, ED, I sent and applied to over 125 schools and all of them rejected me. I can't imagine someone sitting down and applying to these schools and everything came with rejections. It's the same way people feel, trying to get jobs, and then you apply and you go from one stage to the other stage, and then you just hear, oh, we're sorry, oh, we regret to announce, we regret to inform, all of those things. And then sometimes you get fired on your job, you lose your job, no explanations, nothing. Sometimes it can actually be a toxic manager, a toxic environment. Sometimes it can be visa denials. You go to the embassy and then no visas. Sometimes it can be your marital life affecting you at work, divorces, separations, and then it's showing up in your workplace. Or sometimes you are in a workplace, it may be abroad, and you're experiencing racism and everything, maybe colorism, whatever that is. Or sometimes you can be an entrepreneur and you're not hitting your targets, you're not hitting your goals, you're not getting what you really desire to get. And then every time they call a family reunion, you are ashamed to show up. Every time they call a school reunion, you are afraid to show up because guess what? Your brain says to you, I am not where my mates are supposed to be. I am not where my mates are supposed to be. I am not where my mates are supposed to be. Professional shame up and about. Sometimes it can be men who are insecure about their wife's successes, and then you won't support her, you won't be there for her, you won't attend her conferences, you won't even believe in her vision because guess what? If I support her too much and she succeeds and excels, she's going to leave me, she's going to disrespect me, she's going to be this, she's going to be that. It can also be a woman who is intimidated by her husband's success, competition up and about. So today we are zeroing in on professional shame and we're saying to ourselves how to take care of this shame. What part of this must we pay attention to? What part of this must we strip off? Because at every point in time, Shame is an enemy at every point in time. We must address it the way it is. We must address it the way it is. So, if you're listening to me today and you know any of your friends who should be here, this is a good time to say, join this conversation, join this, be here. And if you haven't liked or subscribed or done anything, please click the like button. Click the like button on the video right now so that you can help us increase the reach and let it go to as many people as possible. Too many people are walking up and about in shame. Singles are so ashamed of being single. Like, they are so ashamed. It's gotten to a point where the center of their life is marriage and men. They can't think straight anymore because guess what? Oh, I'm not married and I'm not good enough, and people will think there's something wrong with me. And I'm just here to say witches are married, terrorists are married, kidnappers are married. It is you, a child of God, who is bothered. And somewhere along the line, the lilies and the flowers are being watered and they're experiencing growth. But you, a child of God, is the person who is bothered. And at every point in time, worship centers are doing fast now. If it's not 40 days, it's 60 days. And what are people fasting about? If it's not about their marriage, it is about something that they need from God. How many people are really fasting for power? How many people are fasting and the prayer point in the fast is, God, burden me with what burdens you? Like, burden me with what burdens you. Do I have a problem with you enjoying or desiring marriage? No. The challenge I have is if you've turned your entire life into marriage, if you've turned your entire existence to be male centered, are there good men? Yes. If you follow me so well, I evangelize. I talk about it, especially the bearded ones, those ones who carve their beards. They don't cut it or they carve it. It's like an architectural design. But it would be embarrassing to reduce your entire existence into one particular part of your life when there are so many other parts of your lives. Because reducing it is getting to the point where you say the man is your joy center. No human being is the headquarters of joy. No human being was created to give you joy. No human being. It is written, whether you believe it or not, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. What a human being can contribute to is your happiness. And happiness is dependent on happenings, is dependent on events. Happiness is dependent on happenings, what is happening on the exterior. So, for example, a client calls you, you get the gig and they pay you, you'll be happy. For example, you are believing God for a child, you get pregnant, you have the child, you'll be happy. But happiness is very different from joy. Joy is internal. Joy is not state dependent. Joy is not happening dependent. Joy is a source of strength that comes from the one that produced you. Joy is a source of strength that comes from your designer. And whether you believe it or not, that is the reason why even wealthy people commit suicide. You know what is missing in their life? The joy of their designer. So depression or suicide is not tied to finances. Sometimes people say, oh, if I had more money, I will be happier. You may be right. If you had more money, you may be happier, or maybe you will be happier, but you will not be joyful because there are so many billionaires who are depressed and who are looking for how to fill a particular hole in their life. Let me be real with you. There is a part of you that will permanently be empty until you acknowledge the one that designed you. It is very funny so let me break it down. It's like a lion giving birth to a cub, and the cub says, I'm no longer going to be a cub, I'll be a goat. That's called malfunctioning. And the cub is trying so hard to live as a goat, not as a lion. You know how difficult that will be. It's like a fish jumping out of water and trying to live on land. Some of us, the reason why we are struggling is because we have jumped out of water and we're trying to live on land. It is arrogant not to follow the script of the designer. And I'm not here trying to make you religious. I'm not a religious person. I am just somebody who likes God. And the reason why I like God is because I've tried Him. I've tried life without Him, and I've tried life with Him, and I've tried other religions. And I've come to sit down to say, this is the one that works. Some of us do not have any business struggling. We are struggling due to our ego. So let's go to the workplace. You're trying to get a job, or you have a job. And somewhere along the line at your workplace, one of the things that you're doing is to make other people feel not good enough or being condescending. An average Nigerian has this same term in them, which is the desire to always humble people. When somebody types something online that is very good, you will not really celebrate it. When something goes wrong with them, you now go there and you call yourself and you say you are, and they start that agenda. If you are one of the people that desires and tries so hard to humble people, let me tell you something, life will permanently humble you. Why am I going into this in this direction? Because I don't want you thinking that the problem is exterior when some of the problems can be interior. If you are a humbler, you are going up and about showing people's deficiencies, you are going up and about stripping people of dignity, you are going up and about serving people shame. If you are married and you are listening to me and you are permanently condescending to singles and talking down as singles or making them feel like the reason why they are single is because they have a problem, let me tell you something. Those people that you are embarrassing and shaming, they have an angel and they have a God they pray to. If God answers your own prayer, do you think that God doesn't answer their prayer? I remember one day something happened to somebody that we know, and somebody was saying to me that, do you think that this thing that happened to this person is because of what he did to somebody else? And I was like, I genuinely don't know. But what I know is this particular person says that when he prays, God answers him. And I agree with him. So if God answers him, this other person that he did something abusive against, when she prays, do you think God doesn't answer her? So if God is answering him, who do you think is answering her? So if you are married or you are single or whoever you are, the first rule of relating or interacting with anybody is to serve people what you want them to serve you. You will never catch me in some kind of discussions because it never crosses my mind. What I focus on is trying to do unto others what I want those people to do to me. So how you show up in the workplace is very key. If you're a supervisor or a manager, if you are mean, if you are toxic, that is the same energy that will come to you. So let's first of all clear it, because we are not going to abandon the fruits and chase the gift. We are not going to be chasing promotions when we ourselves are toxic. If you are part of the people who borrow money from people and you don't refund them or return it, something is fundamentally wrong. And we need to address those behavioral issues before we now go to I receive, God bless me, God bless me, God bless me. So when we show up at work, from the person who opens the gate, which is the security assistant or executive or whatever, to our driving executive, to the human being who cleans the kitchen or cleans the office, everybody must be given the same respect that you desire. Because if you don't, you know what you're doing to them? You are shaming them. You cannot be at the Strip of the Shame conference and you are the one distributing garments of shame. Somebody help me write that, please. Help me tweet it. That's a revelation. You cannot be at the Strip of the Shame conference and you are the one distributing garments of shame. You cannot make people feel less than they are. The fact that you are more educated or you have an accent or whatever it is, you are going to give people the same respect that you desire. So now that we've dealt with the basics, let's deal with the shame that some of us experience at work and how to deal with toxic shame. So, are we still together? Talk to me. Talk to me before I delve in. Are we still together? Please talk to me in the chat room. Are we still together? Please talk to me in the chat room. Let me check my live chat. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Please talk to me in the chat room. Are we still together? I'm trying to see. I'm multitasking here. On Saturday was easier because there was a studio manager. Today there's no studio manager. It costs thousands of dollars to get into the studio. So are we still together? Good, good, good. So we are together. Thank you so much for dropping that revelation. You cannot be at the Strip of the Shame conference and you are distributing shame. No, it ain't gonna happen. So let's talk about how to deal with shame, especially professional shame. Shame is felt universally across countries and different cultures. And one of the reasons why homes and schools and society use shame is to ensure expected behavior. So they use shame to put us in form. They use shame to ensure that we are lying. They use shame to ensure that some of us are not disruptive or rebellious. So they would use shame as some level of containment and to contain us. Now, while healthy shame is what I honestly will call discomfort, is necessary to keep the society intact. So instead of saying healthy shame, I would rather use the word while some uncomfortable behaviors that we can realign and refix ourselves and learn from is cool, and it helps us keep a lot of things intact. There's the unhealthy part of it, which is harmful, and the harm comes from the psychological effect of it, which we absorb. So, this shame usually we absorb from childhood, where instead of our parents correcting us over something, you can hear something like, oh, you did something. And instead of them saying, oh, what you did was bad, you hear a statement like, you are a bad person. So there's a difference between you addressing an issue, saying, what you did was bad, became, I am a bad person. So every time people made mistakes and children, it is usually tied to not just what they did, but who they are. And if you have a child and you're listening to me, or you have nephews or nieces, or anybody that you have as custodians, or you're a custodian over, it is crucial to be able to separate what you are doing versus who you are. The problem with shame is we internalize what is external. And here is what I mean. So when you do a bad thing, when you express an unhealthy action or something not good that you did towards someone, instead of saying that I am a bad person, what we're supposed to do is to take responsibility for that thing that we did. So at work, you made an error over a PowerPoint or a presentation, or you messed up a document or something. Instead of saying, I am a bad person, I never get anything done well, I never do the right thing, I never, we're saying the next time I'm going to fix this PowerPoint or do this PowerPoint, I'm going to do it better. And here is how I'm going to do it better. The next time, the next time, the next time. So we're not personalizing whatever is wrong. The problem with shame is shame personalizes what should remain outside. You failed at a relationship or a marriage is I failed at a marriage. Shame becomes I am a divorcee. And then it's very easy to just say, I am divorced. I am divorced is I am divorced. By the time we start personalizing some things, even though it looks like sometimes you are describing it, it's totally fine. But I know how we can then stigmatize. So that I am a divorcee is emphasizing some stigma that comes to it. Instead of me typing I am a divorcee when I'm talking to people, like when I'm addressing divorced people or people who have experienced divorce, that's what I usually will say. If you have experienced a divorce, instead of typing you are divorcees or dear divorcees, dear people who have experienced a divorce. What I'm trying to do is to try to let them see that there's a difference between what has happened to them and who they are. So also shame around rape. You will be shocked that some people who were raped or sexually molested in childhood, it is still showing up at work. You know the reason why? Every time they see men, they bleed on some of them. They just feel men are not to be trusted, men are scum, men are not to be respected, men are not good people. He wants to take advantage of me. This person you are bleeding over has no hand in what is happening to you. Some people listening to me today, yes, I just heard that clearly. Some people listening to me today and listening to me now, some things are happening in your relationships and in your marriage, and it is because of what happened to you in childhood. You are treating your husband like your brother and like your father. You are punishing your husband for the sins of your father and your brother. Your husband has no hand in what happened to you. The same way your boss has no hand in what you have experienced or what you're experiencing. So, no matter what happens at work, sometimes people can actually say, oh, my boss is toxic, my boss is mean, my boss is this, my boss is that. And I totally agree. But one thing I know is most of the time, none of us prays and says, Lord, help me frustrate Onyekon today. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I doubt it. But then we get to the office, pressure is there, colorism is there, age is there, culture is there, life is there, and people genuinely bleed on you. They lash out, they shout, they curse. I do not agree with all those things. But while all of that is going on, I need you to protect yourself because life will not protect you. Life will not protect you. And you cannot tell people how to speak to you every time. Life was not designed to protect you. Your survival mechanism protects you. It helps you fight. It helps you go into freeze. It helps you go into flight or fawn, which is FAWN. But life was not designed to protect you. And I must also admit, the only thing your survival mechanism and nervous system will help you do in that space is to ensure that, okay, it tries to protect you, but your survival mechanism is not going to give you joy. It is just going to help you stay afloat. That is the reason why some people can be successful at work and still be depressed in their personal lives. Because as you are laboring at work, you are going to labor for your joy. And joy is tied to an anchor. Everybody that I've ever met experiencing depression, something is missing in their life. And what is missing? There is no anchor. Your work was not created to be your anchor. You cannot be looking for joy in the workplace. The only thing you will experience in that workplace most likely is happiness. Happiness is state dependent. Happiness is based on happenings. You cannot be looking for joy in your workplace. Workplaces were not designed to give you joy. If you are looking for joy in your life, you need an anchor. And who do I suggest to be an anchor? The one who created you. Because once an anchor is missing, you are going to be wobbling. It's like you are in an aircraft that is going 33,000 miles. It just comes down. You are not sure you will crash. You are not sure you are surviving. You just shall be going and swinging it along. Everybody who is experiencing some form of depression, go and ask them who their anchor is. You will be shocked that they themselves, they may be hearing it for the first time. Some of them actually made their spouses their anchor. No man or woman was created to give you joy. If you are unhappy as a single human, you will be unhappy coupled. That person you want to go and meet in marriage or you are married to has his or her own life that is bothering them. They are going through a lot, coming from a lot. So it is a form of wickedness for you to be pressing them and whining them for joy. What you can whine them for is happiness. Netflix and chill, that's happiness. We go and shop, happiness. They send you money, happiness. They plan surprises, give you flowers. Those things are happiness. They don't have the capacity to give you joy. Anybody who is joyful, they have an anchor. So at work, if you went to look for a job or you have a job now and you are saying, I'm not happy at my job, I'm not happy at my job, we will discuss that soon. But that job, the first thing you need to know is that when you show up at work, you are there to work. Nobody is your family member. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. And in this office, we're a family, we are like siblings. No, we're in any family, my darling. Mm-mm. There's bottom line and there's salaries. Because when you say we're a family, when there's no money, will you say, Aidi, don't pay me as we're a family? No, you will still collect your money as a family member. So if you are collecting your money as a family member, I need to collect my work as a family member. 9 to 5 is a battlefield, is a war zone. A battlefield and a war zone. So let us reduce our expectations because sometimes we go to work and we want to turn our work to honeymoon. You are thinking your manager should be asking you, so how is your married life? How is sex going? Like, my darling, just face your damn job. Let's face our job, please. People should be friendly. Yes, we are going to be friendly, but we're not friends. Let's stop it. I know you may not be used to these things, but that's the truth. Lack of expectation management is causing disappointment. I'm abroad now. Hardly would you hear me complain about racism. It may occur to me here and there, but the truth, I don't give a damn. Before I came here, I knew racism existed. Now that I'm here, it won't stop because of me. They will continue malfunctioning. I will be functioning appropriately. You know the reason why? I didn't come here to see you. You can be racist. That's your headache. I will function appropriately. I will do what I'm supposed to do. I will not think, oh, it's because they hate me, it's because I'm short, it's because I'm tall. When I was coming here, when I was relocating, I relocated with the antidote to racism. I already knew. Don't be complaining, there's no place like home. No, where I am now is home. I'm telling you, you can't hear me say some things because I already know. I don't work with people, and at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, we're supposed to be friends. No, be friendly, be respectful, offer people dignity. But let's get it straight. Focus on your job. And when you are focused on your job, focus on delivering. There are some kind managers, they will say, oh, thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But only somebody who is enjoying their lives, who is at peace with their lives, and who is enjoying their existence can appreciate you. So when a manager is not saying thank you, it's not because they don't appreciate you, it's because even in their personal lives, they don't thank themselves. You people rate people too much. That's the problem. Me, I don't rate myself too much. Oh, if I tell people, I'm not that important to you. Stop stressing. Stop. I can't give you kidney. How many do I have? The two that I have, I'm managing. Stop stressing yourself. The people you want to like you, has it ever occurred to you before that do they like themselves? People just think, they don't like me. They don't know. No, it's not that deep. The people you are trying so hard to belong to their clique, to like you, this and that, do they like themselves? Do they like themselves? How do you know somebody who likes him or himself? Hear how they talk to themselves. It will be very easy for you to see whether they curse themselves or I don't even want, there are some things that people say to themselves that you already know that, this one hates himself for. And anybody who doesn't like himself or herself has no capacity to like you out of the abundance of the heart. So when you are at work, we are focusing on work, and at work, there are different characters. There are people who are emotionally sound, who have home training and who have trained themselves. And there are some people whose mantra is no grief for anybody. They will fight you to a standstill. They will compete with you. They don't mind killing to achieve. Once you observe the lions and the bloodsuckers, what are you going to do? Love them from afar. And once you observe that they are bloodsuckers, anything they say, don't pay attention to it. I have a good relationship with my enemies. I don't even mind you not liking me. I'm not bothered. We're not feeding each other. We're not paying each other salary. Nobody is giving each other orgasm. To God be the glory, my dear. You will not me, Pia. Once I cite you as a known enemy, I am thankful and grateful because that's a revelation I must not take for granted. Some of us, the problem is the shame givers. We are trying to prove a point to them that they must change and love us. Why? Why are you trying to win a soul at your office? The only soul you should try and win is somebody who is in charge of your what's it called, of your appraiser. If they are not directly in charge of your appraiser, bless their soul, be respectful and kind to them and let them go. Once you understand that there are some people in this your office who don't give joy, just be kind to them, be respectful, but don't be expectant. Anything they say, let me tell you something. When I was in Nigeria, I had some people whose assignment to my life is to offer me shame. Every encounter with them came with shame. If I say one word, they will come against it. My silence, they will come against it. If I sit down, they will say I did not sit well. If I cough, I did not cough well. Some of them were in the body of Christ. What was very disturbing to them was the fact that the more they shamed me, the more unbothered I was. In fact, some of them were in charge of my praiser and they were after my life. Some told me they will humble me. One told me that you cannot become anything without me. I never insulted them. You will never quote me. Oh. I'm very mindful. You will never quote me. I will never enter your trap intentionally. But what was I doing? I was delivering my job and I was respecting them from afar, from close. One day, when they needed to do appraisal, at this time was now an open appraisal, and my enemies started speaking up. Two of them, man and woman in their 60s. You must be very unhappy in your life that you're after a 30-something-year-old woman in your 60s. I'm half your age, yet you are designed to frustrate me. I'm not your problem, and I know. So they came after me. When they finished, some people that I didn't even know had been observing what was going on for years now said, if there's anybody who does her job, it is Oyinkan. Oyinkan does the job like she's paid. You will never find her wanting. She will show up before time. She will be the last to leave. If you are looking for who to be against, it cannot be this person. That's how other people started speaking. I never even knew they were observing the wickedness and witchcraft. And it occurred to me that one of the antidotes of shame is empathy and compassion. Instead of focusing on the shame givers, understand that something is wrong in them. That is the reason why they are bleeding on you. You are not the only one they are bleeding on. No. Don't worry. I can categorically tell you, you are not the only one they are bleeding on. So if they are in charge of your appraisal, if they are giving you points, whatever they are doing, I just need you to know that empathy and compassion is an antidote of shame. They won't deserve it. They won't apologize. They won't come for it. I just need you to be aware. As you go into the workplace, if you are in Nigeria, it's most likely an abusive environment because culturally, Nigeria has an abusive environment. And what do I mean? We don't respect younger people. We don't particularly respect women. So if you are younger, there's a problem. If you are a woman, there may be a problem. Nigeria is not really a respectful place. People pretend we are respectful, but when you say a culture is respectful, what you mean is we respect everybody, no matter how rich or poor they are. We respect all genders. We respect children. If your respect is tied to the car you drive, where you live, how much you earn, is power centered, money centered, do you know who I am? It's not a respectful country. Let's stop being deceptive. And hardly would you see an older person who respects a younger person. They are always looking for how to humble them, how to keep them quiet, how to shame them, how to blame them, how to guilt trip them, so many other things. And we have created conferences to sell this abuse. We are emotionally exploiting women. We are believing God for husband, believing God for husband. How many times have you seen conferences for men believing God for wives? Are men not humans? Are they not the ones who will marry? So it's just everything is just intertwined. So when next you are going to the office, if you have any manager or anybody who is after your life, they are fulfilling their assignment. You are not the only one they are doing that to. So don't think that they chose you, or maybe it's your color, or maybe it's no, don't bother. They are not happy in life. What you can offer them from your soul is empathy and compassion. You will stay respectful like the human that you are and not lose guard of the reason why you are there. That is your manager, not your boyfriend. The reason why you are offering them empathy and compassion is what is key for you is inner feeling of safety. Your inner feeling of safety. And what do I mean by that? At every point in time, shame will disappear when you feel safe. And you must create a safe zone for yourself in your office. Your safe zone may be found in your car, your safe zone may be in your toilet. Your safe zone may be at the lounge when you are eating your lunch. Your safe zone can be when you are listening to music. But shame will disappear when you feel safe. Shame prospers when there's silence and when there's secrecy and judgment. So the more you keep quiet about it, and when I say keep quiet about it, what I mean is there may not be any colleague you can run to because you also need to be very conscious. Don't go around to a colleague who will now report you. I've done it before when I was not wise. The person almost destroyed me. It's by God's grace that I'm here. I went to rant to someone. I thought she was in my corner. I didn't even know she was recording me and sending it to the person in charge of my appraiser. So I have tasted it before, wickedness. So in your office, you must create a safe zone. Your safe zone can be you listening to music. Your safe zone can be in your bathroom, in your toilet, anywhere. Pick one corner and call that corner your peace corner. So anytime shame servers are coming, you have empathy and compassion to speak to them well. One thing you will not do is to give fire for fire. You know the reason why? Because number one, your salary is tied to it. Number two, if you give fire for fire, because shame servers are already used to wickedness, you don't have the tools to fight back up. You cannot beat a terrorist in their game. So don't even bother to say, I will give energy for energy, I will show them, I will not take rubbish. My dear, if it's tied to your feeding and you don't have another source of income, what you will do is to stoop to conquer, offer empathy and compassion, and find a safe zone. You can also have somebody you are ranting to, but when I say you should have somebody you are ranting to, don't go and kill them with your matter. Or people have life. Oh, before you think that they are not the customer service of your existence, you are not telling them everything every day. No, people have their personal lives that is not inclusive of you. So create a sense of safety. And that is after you have established that these people are not necessarily doing it against you. You'll be shocked at how they treat their family members. You'll be shocked at how they treat other people. So when they come to work, it's them going up and about looking for who to destroy. Leave them, let them fulfill their assignment. Do your own so that when the enemy comes in like a flood, people can say that you are diligent. The problem will be when you are not diligent, you are now trying to prove that they are against you. So create your safety zone in your office. There may be good people you can be gisting with, but never rant or report anybody to anybody in that office until they have proven themselves to be in your corner. This human being I used to rant to, She will come to my house, I will go to her house, we will gist. I didn't know every time she came, she was recording our conversations. And by the time she submitted all our conversations to them, she didn't submit her own. Oh. They promoted her. I didn't have a problem with her promotion, but I learned a lesson. Don't let your safety zone be in another human being because you have no control. You don't know if the devil can use them. So create your safety zone that is not dependent on a human being. Another thing you are going to do while you are trying to ensure that you don't internalize shame, internalize the abuse, internalize the blame and the words that they say to you is to always remind yourself that at every point in time, every encounter you have at your office has a terminal point. You are there for a year, 2 years, or 3 years. And life is not fair. Life is not fair. All of us have people who are always trying to offer us shame. You are not the only one. My life is not necessarily smoother or sexier or silkier. It's not that, oh, ED has it all together, ED has no problem. No. Sometimes people want to talk to me and I say to them, I'm not available. And they're like, oh, please, I'm not available. What part of it don't you understand? I'm not available now. Am I God? I'd never say call upon me and I will answer you. I didn't say so. Even if you want to pay me, I still did not say so. I will call upon me, I will answer you when I can answer you. It's very state dependent. I have my life to deal with. I'm battling my life. Did I tell you I've been here before? Is this my second coming? I have my life. I don't have any manual. All of us are failing forward. So at your job, remind yourself, just like I remind myself, every time people come to frustrate me, I say to myself, this is not the devil. This is the devil's disciple. Because the higher you go, the more you battle higher powers. The more you battle higher powers. So if you are failing for a security man and you are failing for a driver, you are failing for somebody serving you at the office, you sent them to buy this food, they bought something else, and instead of correcting them in love, you are fighting and insulting and cursing them over rice and meat. That's not the devil. The higher you go, the more you face real life issues. And you must build your emotional stamina from here. Everything people say to you cannot affect you. If everything people say to you is affecting you, something is fundamentally wrong with you. So you must know the people that if they say something to you, it will hurt you. There should not be more than 10 in your life. Is this making sense to us? Talk to me in the chat room. We're rounding off in about 3 minutes. I'll hand over to Rama, then I can take some questions before we leave. Is this making sense to you? Please talk to me in the chat room. Thank you, all of you, for showing up today. Please talk to me. Please talk to me. Is this making sense to you? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Who is there? Who is in the garden? Hey, little fine girl, can I come and see you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is this making sense to you? Just one person. Nike said yes. Talk to me. Talk to me. Is this making sense to you? One person. Okay, so it's making a lot of sense. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for talking. So you cannot you cannot reacting to what everybody is saying. Like sometimes you're very funny. Driver says something, you're angry. House assistant says something, you're angry. Conductor says something, you're angry. Followers on social media say something, you're angry. So your colleague says something, you're angry. Are you an anger machine? Like, are you serious? So you react to a stranger the same way you will react to a spouse or partner. You cannot put people on the same scale. How you will react to your partner or somebody you love must be how you react to somebody you don't even know. Let me tell you something. Before you successfully annoy and offend me, you will be close to me. Oh. I'd have little or no sense. Like you, I don't even think of people that much. I'm telling you, you want to offend me. Where will you see me to offend? The only people who offend me are people who are close to me. Where will you see me to offend? If you stress me on social media, I will block you. If you have my WhatsApp number, you stress me there, I will block you. I won't say hello before I block you. No, I won't even greet you. I will just block you. No, the if you are stressing me, I won't pick your call. Sometimes we act as if we are so helpless. Everybody dumps on us and we can't do anything. No, I can do a lot. No, I'm guarding my heart with all diligence. It's an instruction I have to honor. So you cannot be reacting to everybody at work the same way you react to everybody you love. Let work be work. One of the mistakes we make is that we carry our honeymoon emotions to work. You go there like you are dating your boss, you are dating your colleagues, you are in a relationship, you are doing all of those things. We make it look like everybody at work is like our chief bridesmaid and groomsmen. You are now wondering why you are unhappy. You went there to work, focus on the work. If you need friends in life, make friends. Sometimes we don't really have friends. We now want to convert the people at work to our friends. No, except both of you have chosen to be friends, don't do the conversion. Be friendly, be respectful, but stop acting like you are not loved at home or you don't love yourself. I don't go everywhere looking for friends. And I'm one person who says the truth. If somebody says that your friend is, they're not my friend though. You don't know the meaning of friendship, or you people just label it. They are not my friend. Anybody who is my friend knows that they are my friend. If both of us know that we are not friends, why are you using me to scope? Because I'm not using it to scope. So you cannot be reacting to everybody at work the same way you react to everybody you love. Anybody who can upset you or make you feel so sad in your life, all of them put together must not be up to 10. You are wasting your emotional resources. Just be reacting like pimple. So that means that I can wake up today now, and if I want to destroy you, I will just look for one thing to say, and I will scatter your day. Are you serious? You can't even scatter my own day. I will scatter your own. I give and take mental health. I'm telling you. Anybody who wants to affect your mood to the point where you are thinking or you want to cry, there should not be less than 10 people in your life. That 10 self is plenty, but let me leave it at 10. And when I say 10, maybe your siblings or some of your siblings, because some of us have Donald Trump around us. Maybe your family members or some of your family members. It cannot even be all your relative. Because, all of us have about 5 Donald Trump per family, aunties, uncles, all those people who are designed to stress you. Those ones cannot make you angry. This revelation I'm giving you, I went through pain before I arrived at it. There's some people in my life now, anything you say, I will just smile. You know the reason why? I'm having compassion on you. If you knew better, you will do better. It's not easy not to have sense. It's not easy. It takes a lot to be senseless. So I'm just going to pray for you because maybe I've been there before also in my life. I've been unwise before. And in that lack of wisdom, I thought that I was wise. So now the people who can make me offended or make me angry, that I accepted the anger, not that it's only you made me angry. No, it's not only them. That they press my button, the thing enter. They're not to 10. Now I just look at you and pray for you because that's the only thing I owe you. Oh no man, nothing but love. So there are some of us we act like emotional reactions. From the moment you wake up like this, they are pressing your button. And when you are angry at the same level with everybody. No, you can't love people the same way. That's why you will hear agape love, erotic love, all those love. You can't love people the same way. You can't react to people the same way. You can't respond to people the same way. You must group it. You must group the emotions. What belongs to a partner? What belongs to family? What belongs to friends? What belongs to enemies? The way you will react to an enemy is with compassion. May your soul find rest. May you find your desired peace. May God bless you. That's how to react to enemies. Because if you want to give them back, it will be a waste of your emotions. And it's not everybody you go and give feedback to. That, I thought I should tell you you offended me. No feedback if they are not important to you. Sometimes we talk a lot. We are looking for who to change. We want to change everybody. No, if you follow me well, I'm not available to do home training online. If you don't have home training, I kuku say it before you come to my ward, bring your home training certificate because I will block you. I won't even tell you. If you say anything to anybody, I will remove you. If you ask me questions, if I have time, I will respond, but you are not entitled to my wisdom. What you don't know, go and Google it. I also Google. I Google daily. I don't go and type, Opera, please, what's the meaning of? No, go and check it. Go and check it. Anybody who is not important to you, stop giving them feedback up and down as if you must say something. You are not the only wise one. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Some of us have gone into trouble because we're always doing no, no. The people you should give feedback are people who are important to you. Preserve your wisdom, preserve your name. You think I just go on people's word over and tell them, no, don't do that. Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. No. So when you're at work, go to work, reminding yourself it's a battlefield. All this one that you are looking for friends and boyfriend and you are trying, let them like me. You are showing your problem with esteem at work. I don't look for who to like me. I'm not even interested. The people who like me are enough. I'm telling you, they like me at home and I like myself. And the people I call friends like me. It's enough. If you have 10 people who like you, you are okay. Just ensure you are not creating intentional enemies because only a fool will be creating intentional enemies. Just ensure you are not doing it. But some of us want to be liked at work. Why? Why? And when I say liked, there's a normal likeness or professional likeness where everybody has dignity, respect. Social intelligence, I get it. But when I say like, when you are trying to be seen, kayerimi.com, let them notice me, I want to be everywhere, I want to be in everybody's clique. People who have discernment of spirits knows that there's something missing in you. Go and fix it outside of work. Stop turning work into your retreat center. And your manager is not your therapist. Your manager wants results. Your manager wants you to deliver. And most likely they will be acting like terrorists because people are looking for money. And I'm not trying to excuse bad behavior. I know some bad behaviors at work also. Those ones, I know it. But we can't control other people. I can't be controlling your manager or your office. We write about it, toxic workplace, toxic. We talk about it. But you yourself, you need to understand what's going on. Reduce your expectations when you get to work. Just work and go. Work and close. Deliver and leave the place. Be friendly, be respectful, do the social intelligence part, but be wise. Keep your friendship outside of work, except you were able to make friends at work, but keep them outside of work. And then anybody who is frustrating you, just check, are they part of your first 10? If they're not in your first 10, just leave them. Take the feedback. If there's any important feedback, if your appraisal is in their hands, whatever it is, take it. But after that, you can't be personalizing things that at every point in time, everybody's making you cry, everybody's making you feel less than enough. If they say to you, you are not, do you know how many times people have told me I'm not good enough? I don't respond though. Let me tell you something. I live in the United States. The visa that I came in through is called the Extraordinary Ability Visa. So I came in as a professional to the US and got my green card in 6 months. So I got a visa for extraordinary ability. Someone that I wanted to write a letter for me to say that I worked with him before told me that why do I think I'm extraordinary? Because he doesn't think I am. So you are not the only one they say rubbish to. And when this thing I just told you happened 3 years ago, someone I worked with for more than 10 years told me that why do I think I'm extraordinary? Because he doesn't think I am. The fact that he doesn't think I am does not mean I am not. It's because sometimes we don't really know who we are. That's why we will not be thinking. When he said it, it didn't bother me. I knew he had issues with himself. So there's no way he can see me as extraordinary because he knows it's not extraordinary. He knows I see it in him. But the fact that he said so does not mean he's right. The problem will be anything people say. You say, my manager said I'm not extraordinary. You start to cry. You are crying like what? So you want to say to me now, if you had two children and your child says that his classmate told him he's stupid and he starts to cry, what will you tell the son or your daughter? Somebody now say you are not extraordinary. It's now paining you to the point where you are crying. Before you see my tears is only seen by God. Before you see the tears, you would have pressed it. You know, when you just responded, I just remembered that it's not part of my first thing, I beg. Let me just bless him and let him go. But some of us, for the entire year, we'll be saying, somebody said, somebody said, somebody said. I'm not at that level. I'll be 40 this year. I'm an elderly person. Before you insult an elder, you will try. So why did I say all of this? To round off, I need you to fortify yourself. Some of you cry for the tiniest thing. And in fact, if somebody even looks at you from head to toe, you'll be crying. Why? What's going on? This life is tough. Oh. Even abroad here, I wrote an exam, I scored 79. It was an online exam. The highest score is 99. I scored 79. Pass mark is 31. Oh. So for me to score 79, it was high. It was online. Then I entered the office and they asked me, do I mind writing the exam? No. I could have called it anything, racism, you know, concern anybody. Oh. I rewrote the exam. This time I scored 85. Thankfully, I wrote it in front of them. 85. So before you would affect me or mess me up, no, you don't have that level of access in my life. Emotional boundary is to say, no, not today, Satan. No, you are not in my first 10. And if you are in my first 10, then we're going to have a conversation. It's called feedback. I have conversation with parents, my siblings. I'm an adult. I should be able to open my mouth and talk. And when I say conversations, conversations without insult, without attacks, without blame, without game. We are speaking English respectfully. I only give feedback to people I care about. If you are not in that level, that zone, my darling, we'll meet in heaven, baby. I love you from afar, my love. Yes, baby. We'll see in future. I hope this was good for us. Any questions? I'll hand over to Coach Rama now. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? The end of the conversation is yes, you can go to other organizations, other places may feel better and stuff, but then the world is naturally hard. The world is naturally hard. So somebody said some individuals are damaged and they look on others to pour their weaknesses on. Yeah, I agree with you. The world is naturally hard. So you can change jobs, but you don't know who you're going to meet there. So I don't want to pretend to you that, oh, worst case scenario, resign and go. When you resign and go somewhere else, what if you meet other people there? What are you going to do? So the best bet now is to fortify yourself. You cannot be emotionally vulnerable to everybody, emotionally susceptible to everybody. Anybody who says something in a particular way gets you in tears. We can keep doing that. You want to cry daily? No. So they can say stuff. If you're wrong, apologize, take responsibility, learn from it. But we move on. In the next couple of months, I'm entering an environment where it may look like emotional abuse. It may look like they are toxic. But guess what? I've started preparing my mind from now. I'll be there for about 5, 6 months. But I started preparing my mind from now. It is called expectation management. So when I get there, I'm not going to say, oh, how did they talk to us like that? Oh, this person is rude, this person is wrong. No. Where I'm going, that is the behavior there. That is how they're going to talk to you. That is the level of toxicity that is there. I have a choice not to go. But guess what? I need to be there for my next level. Are they wicked? Are they mean? I don't know. But I'm going to survive. And I'm not just going to survive, I will thrive. So from now, I'm preparing my mind to handle that level of toughness. So they're not going to speak to me respectfully. They're going to shout and scream. And I'm going to shout and scream if they require me to shout and scream. I'm going to do everything they want me to do. I'm not going to be crying there. or say, oh, he didn't talk to me well, he didn't talk to me respectfully, he didn't say yes, ma'am, does he know who I am? I am nothing when I get there. So let's also humble ourselves. There are places I show up and I am nothing. And there are places I show up like a god. And when I say I am nothing, it simply means I know when to abound and I know where to abase. I know when the spotlight is on me and I know when the spotlight is not mine. Let's stop making it look like at every point in time you must be the center of attention. This attention syndrome where everybody wants to be the sugar in everybody's tea, it ain't working. So fortify yourself because it's not going to get easier. This world is tough. Oh, I don't know who is making it look like it's very soft. This world is very tough, and all of us are in this world together. I'm entering a tough zone, and I'm going to enter this tough zone and do it well. And when I'm done at the tough zone, I will come out and be my normal self. So, thank you so much. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Coach Rama is back on the scene. Any questions? Any questions? Any remember to like and share, and then please like today's video so that it can go, help us push it so that other people can see it, and then we just do what we have to do. So, and then if you want to contribute to the conversation, support us in any way, the account details are there. I keep bringing speakers. Singles, I'm coming for you. You guys are next. Singles, we are going to have a conversation here. You guys are next. If you've experienced a divorce, we're going to have a conversation soon. And I'm going to be inviting guests. And then I like to pay people I invite. I don't like to do things for free. I don't believe in it. I don't say come and speak for free, come and speak for exposure. The only exposure I see is exposure to poverty. And I do not like it at all. So you can support us in any way that you can. I would appreciate it. Yes, it's a series back to back, and that's why we need your support. Any questions before we call it a day? How do you handle abuse in the workplace? I already said that repeatedly. Please watch this video. It would be on my wall. Just watch it and then be there. So, two questions and we're out. I already mentioned handling abuse in the workplace. I already mentioned that. Just watch the video. It looks like you just came on. Rama, your microphone is off. You have something to say before we call it a day. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Thank
I
you
was
so much,
blessed. I had a good
everyone.
time here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Edie. That was super amazing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I told you to be real, raw, and vulnerable. Somebody said this should be a series. Yes, that's what we're trying to do. This topic should be a series. The strip of the shame conversations will continue, and that's why we need you to, support the movement so this can keep, coming to you, and then you can keep learning. Imagine you learning all the time, and picture yourself at the end of 2024, how solidified, how strong, and how emotionally stable you would be. So support the movement and let's keep it pushing. Invite your friends as well. Yes, invite your friends whenever you're coming on board to listen so that you can have a community of emotionally stable, available, healed people, so they don't start dumping on you. Even though you're healing, they're dumping on you every time. Invite your friends and family. It's going to be amazing as always, as always. That's what we can promise you. We deliver excellence all the time. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Edie. If you have a question, please write it so she can take it before she leaves. And then we call it a day. A day. Do you have questions? I can't see anyone. People should not define who you are. Of course, of course, of course. That's why self-awareness is very important. If you have not done EQCS, you can also sign up for emotional intelligence certification course with the office. You can reach us at Emotion City on Instagram and you can get yourself started. You will learn a lot about self-awareness. Once you have self-awareness, I can tell you you've solved 70% of your problems. I tell you, that's it. Self awareness is the king of existence. Somebody said, what are some in the moment techniques for regulating oneself in the face of an intense direct attack at work, however subtle? Well, Edith, would you like to take that?
Yes, that's the only question before we call it a day. So, if you've done our emotional intelligence course, you will know that some of the tools and techniques we suggest, number one will be 6 seconds pause. meaning pause before you respond, pause while you are responding, pause when you're done responding. People say to me, you talk so calmly. The reason for the calmness is because I pause before I speak. I pause while I'm speaking. I pause when I'm done speaking to listen to who I have spoken to receive feedback, clarifications, and whatever it is. So my calmness is a result of practice. I pause, I pause, I pause. So when people are doing stuff to us anywhere, at work and at home, your pause factor must be there. You can't say everything that comes to your mind. Some people will say, I'm very blunt, I speak my mind. That's not a sign of wisdom. You can't be saying, I'm blunt, I speak my mind, I say it, I just talk. It's not a sign of wisdom. If all of us were saying everything on our mind, do you know how heartless we will be? For somebody, so when I'm angry, I give a piece of my mind. And that's supposed to be a testimony, emotional real estate agent. I give a piece of my mind. All the people you are giving a piece of your mind now, how many houses have you built with the pieces of mind? Let's stop this bad behavior that we are trying to hide under being blunt and frank. When you are mean, you are mean. When you are wicked, you are wicked. That's not what we're saying. So in the heat of madness, the capacity to pause is very key. If you are a Christian, Jesus paused at every time. Every time he needed to do something, he was always pausing. How do I know? When they asked him, this woman, we just caught her in the act of adultery. They said they saw caught somebody in adultery. They did not catch the man. This thing has been going on since. They didn't catch the man. They caught her. It wasn't that they caught her masturbating. Because adultery and masturbation are two different things. You caught two people, but you held one to the master. And they asked him, what should we do to this person? And instead of Jesus responding, because it was clear to him that these ones came to set a trap, he just started writing on the floor. He paused. You cannot be talking like you don't have any filter. So when people are misbehaving and being mad, just pause. A couple of months ago, a friend of mine and I had a heavy conversation, and I could see that he had entered that zone where he wanted to be saying anything as it came to him. I just stopped saying a word after that. I just retreated. The essence of the retreat is if anybody is going to misbehave, it should not be me. And by the time he was done with his speaking in tongues and drama, he came back to his senses. We can't be going and coming back to our senses like people who lose their brain. It's not good. You can't be pretty and mean. You can't be a beautiful witch. Do you understand? So anything that is happening anywhere, pause and even ask yourself, do I have to respond? Am I defending my ego? If I don't respond, what will I lose? Because sometimes you don't lose anything. No? The only thing you lose is that feeling, temporary feeling of defend yourself. Oh, they will not take it for granted. They will not take. Who are you that they can't take for granted? Especially when it doesn't matter. The one who created us, they are taking it for granted. Before you respond to anybody, ask yourself, does this really matter? Do I really need to speak? Because it's not every time you just open your mouth. Wow, don't let people know you for saying rubbish. Let them know you for your calmness and your peace. This one doesn't like stress, Charlie. All those things. Let them know you for that. So thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, Rama, for showing up. I don't know when we're going to have the next time, but if you keep supporting us and showing up, help us repost, like, send to your tribe, and we're building the community. We'll have so many. Talk to singles, talk to people who have experienced divorces, talk to men when it comes to finances, business, ego, all of those things. We'll keep building the house, building the community, building the family. We'll see you some other time. Thank you so much and have a restful evening. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of our world.